Good morning. Welcome to Legally Speaking with attorney Antoinette Osborne. This program is for information purposes only. If you need legal advice, you can contact me, Antoinette Osborne, at 718-502-9137. For those of you who are here, please let us know where you are listening from. This morning, I am going to be focusing on misrepresentation in an immigration context. You can post your questions in the live. If you have a question and you'd like to call in, you can call in at 718-502-9137. That's 718-502-9137. So this morning, if you have a question, you can call in at that number. It is the same number to call to make an appointment during the week. Carone is here with me this morning. She is going to be my moderator. If you have any questions, you can post it in the live. If I don't see it, Carone will be sure to let me see. So this morning, we're going to be focusing on misrepresentation. Please like the live. Please share the live with someone who you know may benefit from the information, as most of us are immigrants here. And unfortunately, when you get the wrong help, it proves to have dire consequences. One of this is misrepresentation. It allows the immigrant to be held inadmissible. It is a serious topic, and this morning I wanted to be able to just give you examples as to how this can play out in someone's life, how you have to be very diligent when you are signing documents in an immigration context. You can't just, I think Marcus Garvey told us that we should read documents. It is so important. You have to realize when you sign an immigration document, it is your signature. You can't put the blame on anyone else. No one is going to be very sympathetic to you. So I can't encourage you enough. Be very careful when it comes to these documents. These documents have consequences where immigration has no statute of limitations with regards to these misrepresentations. And I want you to be able to just warn your friends. You understand? We know that people are coming for better opportunities, but we don't want them to harm themselves prior to getting legal status. So how do we really misrepresent? And good morning, Suzette and Renee, listening from West Hempstead, and Winston, good morning from Kew Gardens. Please like the live and also share the live. Someone will be able to benefit. So misrepresentation or fraud is just providing wrong information, right? So somebody, Mocha, is from Far Rockaway. Good morning, June. So you can give the wrong information when you are just entering the country, or when you are submitting an application, or in your interviews. So the question is, what are the consequences for this? It can be dire, and it can be dire where it haunts you. One of the release from this inadmissibility is a waiver. A waiver is not guaranteed, and you have to qualify for it. So I want to encourage you this morning, if you have a friend, family member who will be submitting an application, we truly want them to be able to win. and especially new immigrants that are coming in, it is our desire that, in fact, that you win when you are putting in your applications. We understand that you have people out there who are advising you from the village, but this is not an application where you are going to use your village lawyer to assist you. Yeah. So this bar was put in place to hold immigrants inadmissible if you are ever discovered to have misrepresented yourself or if you have committed fraud. And it's either fraud or misrepresentation in terms of coming into the country, submitting an application, or in an interview. But one of the most dangerous misrepresentations you can make is a false claim to US citizenship. So, you don't have any papers. Do not fill out that I-9 that states that you are a citizen. Do not use anybody's US birth certificate and apply for any form of application, because whether the misrepresentation is made to immigration officer or to get any state or federal benefit or any local law benefit, you have an issue. One of the things I like to caution people on is when you are filling out that for your driver's license, whether you first time applications, renewal, or I believe it's also on when you're applying for the ID, they ask you whether or not you want to register to vote. For people who are not citizens, do not fill out that portion of the application. Why? You are claiming and you're making a false claim to US citizenship. So we do not want, when you're filling out that DMV application, do not register to vote. In registering to vote, you are falsely claiming to be a US citizen. There After September 30th, 1996, there is absolutely no waiver for that, except if both your parents are US citizens and you're under 16 and you're living in the United States with them. Which immigrant really is going to qualify for that? It's a tough exception, and it is an exception that hardly anyone, and usually anyone who falls in this category, oftentimes is a US citizen. So it's a rare circumstance that someone is going to fall in that exception. So for the individual who claims this after September 30th, 1996. And how do you do this? You have a link, you get a link, and somebody have a link at the passport office. And you go and you take out a fraudulent passport. You go and you get a fake US birth certificate. You go and you register to vote. I want to encourage you, be careful. You borrow somebody documents to go, and whether it is their birth certificate or their passport, or you don't have a US document, but you're filling out these I-9s, you're filling out certain applications, and you're claiming to be a US citizen. You do this after September 30th, 1996, there is absolutely no waiver for you. Good morning, Lady J, Queens Village in the house. Novelet from Long Island. Good morning. All right, so this morning we are focusing on misrepresentation in an immigration context. Caron is here. She's assisting me. If you have any questions, you can put it in the live. If you want to call in on the live, you are more than welcome to do so. I will answer your questions. So, very people who will go to the embassy and they will fill out this visa application. Oftentimes, people want to show ties. And in one of the ties that people show is that they're married. The problem is, and you have to be careful who assists you. You can't come and you can't say that, oh, I did not do this. Nobody's taking that, right? You did the application. So one of the drawbacks that people are putting on these applications is that they're married and they are not. So, single people who are claiming to be married in order to get that visa, what happens, how this haunts you, is when you finally get the chance to adjust your status and you are in your interview. You probably applied for this visa 10, 15 years ago, because it's not everybody who comes here is able to regularize themselves immediately. And what happens is you're in the interview and the officer says, like, who is John Brown? Who are you? You don't know who John Brown is. Huh? Yeah. You have no idea who John Brown is, but 15 years ago, on that application for a visa, you said you were married to John Brown backside. You see, we don't remember a lie, but we will always remember the truth. So the officer now says, in 2005, you filled out an application for a visa at Kingston at the embassy, and you claimed that you were married to Joan Brown. See you now. Where crosses I got this morning after you're done nice, clean, beard, presentable, putting yourself in the interview? Where crosses I got this morning? Right, yes, sir. A right, yes, sir, crosses there. So now, you don't remember who Joan Brown is, and the officer reminds you of your application at the US Embassy, where your claim say you did marry to Joan Brown. Hey! One of the issues now is misrepresentation. You are now inadmissible. So there are two catches to this. If you were really married to Joan Brown, then the marriage that you are at the interview at, because you don't have no divorce document, that marriage no good again. It's void, what the law calls void ab initio. It can't cure, because you can't marry two people at the same time. Not in New York. Yeah? The next problem is, so if you did marry, guess what? No. Oftentimes, you have to go divorce the current spouse who I sit down in at the interview with, go divorce Joan Brown, and then go remarry a spouse. Yeah. If you never married Joan Brown, guess what you have to go to know? You are going to be required to put forth a certificate of no impediment, which you would get from, if you're from Jamaica, the Registrar General's Department. If you're from another country, then whichever government agency issues like your marriage certificate and so forth. That's the agency you would go to in order to get proof that you are actually not married to someone else. The issue with the latter scenario is that now you have misrepresentation. Yeah? It's not fraud, but it's misrepresentation. So now you need a waiver. Now, what happens with some people is they can't qualify for this waiver, because with misrepresentation, it is only a US citizen spouse or a green card holder spouse or a US citizen parent or a green card holder parent that allows you to get this waiver. So this is why when you are filling out your applications, it's rough. You have to be careful when you make a misrepresentation. Immigration mind long like rope. It's like there is no, the memory, there is no end, and you are required to do a waiver, right? So this morning we're focusing on misrepresentation. If you have a question, you can post it in the live. I will answer it. Good morning, Theodora. Thank you for joining the live. Please like the live. Please also share the live so that your friends and family members will be able to see and be able to learn something this morning, as we are here to educate our community and empower them so that they can make informed decisions, right? So The waiver is not easy to get. You need to prove extreme hardship, right? This is not an easy thing because in proving extreme hardship, you have to prove that either your spouse or parent is going to suffer extreme hardship if they had to stay in the United States without you, or if you had to travel to their home country and be with them. And it's not just regular hardship, it is extreme. Good morning, everyone. We have 48 people here, and I'm asking if you could like the live, share, and don't forget to subscribe, guys. All right, so that's how you get the waiver. It's not the easiest thing to get. And I'll tell you this, I have never submitted a waiver that doesn't look like this, that thick. Yeah? I beg you, I beg. When you I beg, you don't have no shame. You don't have no shame. Hmm? You ever broke yet? And you have to humble yourself and beg somebody something? Well, this is same like immigration. I beg you, I beg. And who don't know for beg? When it comes to seeking a waiver, you're going, don't be proud. You gotta beg. Simple. All right. So you can make this misrepresentation when you're applying for the visa, when you are coming into the United States, whenever you are putting in any applications, whether it's your re-entry permits. Just a reminder, if you are a green card holder, you are not allowed to be outside of the country for more than 6 months. When you're out for more than 6 months, there is a presumption that you have abandoned your permanent residency. And if you are out for more than a year, yeah, they're a little bit lenient with COVID. But even though COVID, is it a disease, whatever it is still here because of the vaccine and different treatments, life is going on and it is moving. So they were a little bit lenient in 2020, possibly 2021. That level of forgiveness is not existing in 2022, 2023, right? So I can't encourage you enough. If you want to spend more than 6 months out, go and apply for a re-entry permit. So for refugee and worse, the worst thing, I can't encourage you enough. Immigrants who don't have legal status, do not go and apply for a U.S. birth certificate. Don't make them fine you with a U.S. birth certificate. Do not go and apply for a passport. Do not fill out that job application claiming to be a citizen, or those loans claiming to be a citizen. They are giving loans to buy houses to people who don't even have papers. I have clients who have absolutely no document and they are homeowners. So probably need to check a different bank, but there are banks out there who are giving loans to people who don't have any papers. Yeah. So it is what it is. I don't want anybody listening to this go and make like a false representation concerning anything, especially a false claim to U.S. citizenship. Master, that come like cancer. No cure, no dede for that after September 30th, 1996. Make we get real on the thing. There is absolutely no cure for that. So if you are looking to seek status and this ever catch you, you know when we say dog nyam your supper? Hey, massa, dog nyam your supper, right? So, good morning, Regatta. All right, it's our Sunday morning church service. Woo! That's really nice. But you know, girl, good girl, you know, if you go to church. All right, so when you sign these applications, you know, you sign under penalty of perjury. I want you to look at this form and make sure you're reading it. On the last, prior to the signature, there is a warning that warns you that you are signing under penalty of perjury. This is not a game. Yeah? And this is not something because What this means also, it's your signature, you sign it. You can also be referred to the U.S. attorney for prosecution. This is a federal form. You're lying under oath. So straight to court, it don't make sense. And I understand you have the what they call notarios. Me call them village lawyer. Yeah, because them a give you advice and it don't make sense. Yeah? The tears that sometimes cry in my office, it's serious and it real. And where an application is put in and it actually harms someone who later in life legitimately has a bona fide application, yet still the application can't move because of some drunk bait do you some years ago. It rough. You can't move in America. One of the hardest things is where you get an opportunity to get legal status, yet still you're stuck because of some mistake you make years ago. Yeah? It's like when you meet one crosses man or one Jezebel girl, and the fact that you did there with them, it's still a haunt you. It's still a linger. Like you could have gone to St. Thomas and you could have beard St. Thomas Bath River, I mean. Anybody who from St. Thomas or from Jamaica know about Bath River. It is the river of healing. Yeah, you could have washed 10 times, girl. Yeah, it not go away. No. People like to blame. You ever in an argument with somebody and it is never their fault? Nobody takes accountability. This is a situation where you have your village lawyer. You want to blame your village lawyer, yeah? Says it's a village lawyer who put certain things on the application. You don't know about that. The man call you in and you get some form for sign and you sign it. It doesn't work like that. And that is not going to be an excuse. And I've been practicing for quite some time. And in all my years, I only 2 times may ever see an officer kind of just make it go through. Yeah. Some people really were able to get a blessing. But when you have this waiver to put in, and you don't qualify for this waiver, Rasta Georgia problem. For those of you who are just joining us, please like the live, share the live. If you have a question, you can call in at 718-502-9137. You can also text your question to 718-502-9137, or you can put it in the live. I will see it. All right, so let me take a look at this misrepresentation. Because, it's like who leave the door open. Everybody come through the door, but I know them. All right. We have a big problem now. One of the restrictions, right, is when you make this misrepresentation, if you are in an interview and the misrepresentation is made in that interview, retract it. You have to take it back before the officer decides to hold misrepresentation. Take it back immediately. Yeah. Sometimes you give a gift and you can't take it back. This, if you retract it timely, it works. But when it's not retracted timely, such as you go out for your visa, you make the misrepresentation, then grant the visa, and then you go into another immigration interview, you want to retract it, then it's not going to work. Good morning, Amarildo. How are you? Please like the live, share the live. All right. Crosses now. Fraud or willful misrepresentation. To me, this are crosses. Anytime you do something, one need a waiver of crosses. Because one, You are going to be paying a tidy sum in legal fees, a psychological evaluation. You have to run around, get certain documents, and the waiver takes a long time to be adjudicated. Yeah? So, I'm going to give you some scenario now. So you have this man, right? I mean, I know where them get this idea, who a guide them. Man having baby mother, 3 kids with the baby mother. But him decides that instead of marrying the baby mother, yeah, him a go marry the baby mother, that time mother-in-law. Want to follow me now? Him want papers, the mother-in-law of papers, not the baby mother. Because some people think them are going to marry and then sort out them baby mother. Him have 3 kids with the baby mother. Everybody live at the same house. So the plan is now, I'm going to marry the mama. Once I get married to the mother, I go and get status, yeah? But what they never planned for was a site visit. And for anyone who submits an application, I am going to tell you, be prepared. You may get a visit. And I tell you, all the time, 2 people are come. 1 person are come by themselves. 2 people are come. 1 for question you and 1 to watch you, right? All right, so I think a text message just come in. All right, so someone texted, good morning, Miss Osborne. How long is the process filing for my adult unmarried child? I have a village lawyer friend. Good morning to all the village lawyers. I have a village lawyer friend who keeps saying 2 to 3 years. All right, if you are a citizen filing for a child over 21 who is unmarried, processing time is running now approximately 8 years. If you are a green card holder filing for an unmarried adult child, you are looking at about 7.5 years. And you may say, why is the green card holder shorter? The reason is everybody is running and filing for the citizenship. There are certain numbers that are allotted each year. So when everybody files for their citizenship, them grab up the numbers available for citizen kids. So the green card holder numbers, less press, less time. So that is involved. Anyway, so Mr. Man now decides, say, he might marry mother-in-law, but they never anticipate the site visit. So when the 2 people them come, are just the woman alone, the mama, the mother-in-law at home alone with the officers. Hey, is this Wahala? So them there, and you know them, when them come, them are gonna walk around the house and them are gonna question you. Poor she never know, hey, if picnic shot could have fit her. So them start questioning her now. And they say, who owned the house? She says, she and her husband. Who live in the house? She and her husband and the kids. So I'm going to ask you that same question again. Who lives in the house a few minutes later? She, her daughter, and the husband. No mention of kids. So they say, take me to the master bedroom. I want to understand where it's going because this is an investigation. Take me to the master bedroom. In the master bedroom are envelopes addressed to her daughter and her husband. In the master bedroom are clothes for her daughter and her husband. So them say, where you sleep? Because if your wife and your husband are sleeping in this room, she said, no. when her daughter come to visit, the daughter will sleep in the room and she will sleep in the basement. Hey! This is when una wrap up on a story. This is where immigration are gonna wrap you up like a blanket now, right? Cause remember, she and the husband sleep in the room. But when the daughter-in-law come, cause the only reason you find like an envelope in the master bedroom for the daughter is because the daughter come and sleep there sometime. Sometimes who sleep? Where you sleep? She sleeps in the basement when her daughter come. Story no make sense, right? But follow me now. Them say, take me to the basement. Cause cute you go on cute and you try tricks with. Take her to the basement now. So they go to the basement and then I look round. When you look every single item for the mama. Where does your husband sleep when your daughter comes over? Come in and know, oh, you try trick with girl. That's in the mind. Your daughter have 3 kids with this man, but you are the wife. Some people live in a community, hey, it is not for me to judge. So them going to the basement and them dig up now and them realize, say, you alone sleeping here. And them I look round and most of the pictures with the daughter and her husband in a compromising position. So the question is, who is the wife? So them, when them rush, it's a different thing, Anybody who has been in an interrogation with USCIS, notice when the fire come, is truth coming behind it. So them rush up and them step up now. That this woman I take off a bait. Them look round and them look round the master bedroom and them check all the envelopes, the clothes and the pictures. Guess what? This not say the mama a wife. So them pull up now. You ever have somebody pull up to you yet? Yeah, them pull up on her. Look here, lady. I want you to understand the serious consequences of lying to federal officers. Yeah? And you can go to jail and your husband get deported. So we're going to ask you the question them again. Hey, poor mama, Lord Jesus. When mama hear this now, you know what truth will come? Well, I married my son-in-law because I was trying to help him since he's with my daughter. Who owns this house? Well, it's my daughter and my son-in-law, my husband. And whose room is that? The master bedroom. It is my daughter and my husband. One time statement come out, because you have to sign to it, girl. Because we know we're going to buck you later. Thought it was that easy? Nah. So here's the drawback, because this now is marriage fraud. Them have them investigation. Someone will go and you get Stokes and them send it the denial letter, say, they don't believe the marriage was done in good faith. That not bad. You send an investigation happen and there is a determination of marriage fraud. I want you to understand this fraud block you for life. This is what they call a 204C bar. Don't play with this. So years later, the son who is born in the United States to the mama husband and her daughter is now 21. And he is filing for the mother. And he's filing for the father. The problem is the father, because of that fake application, committed fraud. And in committing the fraud, He's now subject to a 204C ban. This is years later. About 15 years later, the child is now 21. Child is a U.S. citizen filing for daddy. Case gets denied because of this fraudulent application. And this is why I don't care how desperate you are. You say marriage fraud, where there is clear and convincing evidence. They had an investigation. The woman admitted she married her son-in-law, quote unquote, husband to help him out. They have proof now. They have our signature. So that mother-in-law / wife coming 15 years later to say, no, she signed it and that is not the truth, that don't make sense. She should never have signed it. She should never have made those admissions, because at the end of the day, it's their proof to prove marriage fraud. She signed it. They've proven their case. So now the father will never in life, because there's a determination in his history that he committed marriage fraud, that father never gets a green card ever in life. So be careful how people are encouraging you. Be careful of desperation. I understand the frustration, but sometimes it's better we wait and can sort out ourselves properly than you go and get a permanent block. So Winston says, if you have a daughter in the Navy who is now a citizen, mother is in the US on a visit, can her daughter file her papers and can she still travel on her visa? So if the mother is looking to stay here and to adjust in the United States, she would, I would say, make the application 90 days after entry. That's one. Two, if she wants to travel, if she's adjusting in the United States, then what she should apply for is what is called advanced parole. If, however, she wants to process, because some people don't want to stay here and process. They're on their visa, they have things to tie up back home, because applying for the advanced parole now is taking a year. And they can't wait that long to go home. They have a business to take care of. So some people would process on the embassy. So if it is that she's looking to consular process, then her daughter can file for her. She can go home, daughter files for her. That's fine. And in the meantime, she travels on the visa. The only time she has a problem traveling on the visa is if when she reach airport, CBP legitimately believes that she's coming to stay and she's not going to return, then she has a problem coming back. But you have people who are being filed for and they travel back and forth. It's not an issue. So I hope that answers your question. All right. So good morning, Alan. Alan says good morning. And thanks for keeping it real. Of course, everybody know we're a real gal writer. So not popular, because some people can't take the realness, but we try and give the community honest information, and information that is to help, so that your applications can have merit. We don't want nobody send out no frivolous application. Simple. All right. So here's another red flag. If you come into my office and you tell me, oh, we're going to be living separate, that's a fraud trigger, not just for me, but for immigration. And one of the mistakes that people will make is they're having separate residence. I personally, unless your spouse in the military or your spouse in college, I'm not putting in an application with separate addresses. Go sort out your life. Sort out your life, then come back to my office, make me help you. Yeah, that's one of the biggest Girl, me look like me a fat and fall for mongoose. A which man I come tell me about him? I go live separate where? You're in a different country. Oh, so you cancel a process. Me and you in the United States? And we all live separate? Eh? Me look like me a fat nobody. Girl, no fat and fall for mongoose. Me not play them sonky there. Living separate is one of the biggest fraud triggers. And what some people will do is live separate and I live with them baby mother. Or yeah, live with the other girl. That makes sense. And for those of you who are tech people, man, and I put in immigration application, I'm gonna tell you right now, girl. The other girl I got calling, Panya, she gonna make your life sad. And that is the reality. Because some people are there waiting, like the great Bob Marley, trying to make a man marry them. And you just come in like a hurricane and swipe the man and get married? No, girl, she gonna make. What's the man still a come her yard? Girl, she gonna make your life sad. Careful owner out there, tech people, man. It don't make sense. That misrepresentation, right there, sir, then can quickly prove marriage fraud. They come into the house and they see your spouse living with somebody else. Don't make sense. Yeah. Morning, Melanie. Morning, my darling. Guys, remember to share the live and like the live. Don't forget to subscribe. All right. Most of this, and I'll tell you this. You see when they back up the US citizen in a corner and tell them that you can't go to jail for this. Nobody now go to jail for you. You're not that cute. So they will sign immediately that the marriage is not a bona fide marriage. And I'm going to encourage you to try and avoid those marriages. It raises an iron gate for you, not just currently, but in the future. So just tuning in, you are listening to Legally Speaking with attorney Antoinette Osborne. If you have a question this morning, you can put it in the live. You can also text it to 718-502-9137. So I want to talk about you using these village lawyers and your signature is on application. Some of you you're signing these blank documents. Some of you actually see what's on it and know it's not true, but it's a desperation to get work authorization. So you actually allow it to be submitted on your behalf. I will tell you, for you to come in an interview, like I said, I have had an officer. Client said, I signed it in blank. Officer is like, that's your signature. That's all I need. And that's the truth. So you have to be careful. This is how people get caught up in misrepresentations. And unfortunately, now you need a waiver. Was it worth it? Yeah. So not to mention the man in Brooklyn who submitted thousands of VAWA applications. So people, where is a problem when they are getting their card. And I'll tell you this. And the fact that you speak a different language, that is of no avail. You had this man from, I believe it was Venezuela. Man, at the time he came, spoke no English. But the church, the pastor said, give me 15 grand. I'll some pastor in this too. Give me 15 grand and I am going to submit the application on your behalf. So they submit the religious visa. It was approved, and he eventually got the green card, he and his wife. So they are now traveling back and forth. And one of the dangers when you travel out of the country, always be prepared to be stopped and questioned and undergo a secondary investigation. Yeah. So don't think that, oh, I have my green card now, I'm fine, I have gone over the mountain, everything is great. No, it's not. Every time you enter the country, and this even go for US citizens, until CBP allows you into this country, you can't come in. And that's the reality. Nobody cares that you're born here or you have a US passport, you're naturalized. Until CBP allows you in to the country, you not have no chat. Simple. So in him and his wife now, they went to Venezuela, they came back, and with the officer questioning them, the man, remember, this is a religious visa. Them apply for this man, say my pastor. The man said, I was not pastor there. What? What? Sir, you know who you talk to? Yeah. Right, yes, sir, it starts. Did you attend the church? And the wife is a nice Christian woman. Yeah, she probably attended church for 2 weeks. What? So by this time now, I type now, because you're going to sign off on that paper. And immediately, you are placed in removal proceedings. Got sorted out in a court. Yeah. So then place the poor little man and his wife. So the man in a court, the man say, at the time I signed the papers, I couldn't speak English. They put it in front of me and I just signed. That's your problem. You see, you sign in a form, it is not in your language. It is your obligation, because on this paper speaks to your affirming under penalty of perjury. Nobody cares that you didn't know English. It is your responsibility to go ahead and get it translated. You see how everything falls on you? It is your job to ensure the documents that you are submitting to immigration are truthful and you have provided honest answers. Your failure to do this will result in misrepresentation. And when you don't have anyone to grant you a waiver, and here it is, they never ever qualified for the visa. Man wasn't a pastor. How is he getting the religious visa? So now the judge is like, we don't care that you never know English. It is your signature. It is your responsibility. You were required to basically find out what you're signing. Yeah. Nobody cares. When you sign an immigration form, yeah, there is a presumption that you, one, you know the contents. Two, you agreed to the contents. So for you now to come and say, oh, I signed it in blank, or I never had a chance to review it, they just brought it to me and I signed the application. You cannot avoid responsibility. Yeah? Someone not having one in the school and having no homework. You forget it. Dog eat your homework. You had to do something for your parents, say you couldn't submit the homework. No. It is your responsibility. Just tuning in, we are about coming to the end of the program. We are finishing at 10 o'clock. If you, caller, you are on the air live. Yes, darling, you're on the air live. Talk about a little louder. Do you have a... I can hear you. I hear an echo. You may have to turn off your YouTube. I hear an echo. How can I help you this morning, love?
Oh, I said I didn't hear you last week.
Okay, darling. So join us every Sunday here at 9 o'clock. All right. We're no longer on the radio. You have to join us on the YouTube live.
Okay, now I'm seeing you.
You're seeing me?
Live on the TV.
Yes, darling.
I'm seeing you in a blue dress.
Yes, darling. Do you have a question this morning?
I just like the program.
Okay, darling. Take care. Bye.
All right.
All right. So I need you when you sign in forms, and let's even take immigration out of it. Yeah? You're going somewhere, someone is putting a form, a document in front of you to sign. I want you to take that document and I want you to review it. Hi, Flavia. Flavia says she is listening from Jamaica. All right. I want you to take the document and I want you to review it. Yeah, it is so important that when people put documents in front of you, that you read it before signing it, because you have this Latin term non est factum. You can't say it is not your act. It does not make sense. And I want us as a community, right? Because we have some people in our community, because of lack of funds, they never had the opportunity. And anyone who has a friend who is not able to read, and by the way, if you know someone who has a difficulty in passing their citizenship test, I was able, that's why it's good to chat to people and know people, you know. Me don't know enough people, but the little that me know, yeah, good girl, find somebody. For those of you who know someone who they want to do their citizenship test, but they're having a problem reading and writing, my sister, I have secured a licensed teacher who is able to tutor you with the reading and the writing. So anybody who has a friend and they are having a difficulty with the reading and the writing test, I have secured a teacher who is able, of course, and I have to pay the man for him time, yeah. But when you get that citizenship, it is so worth it. Yeah. I'll tell anyone this. You have the green card. Some people don't want to get their citizenship. They're fine with a green card. But some of us will be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And if you have lost your mind to think that everybody who is in jail is guilty, you make a sad mistake. Some people just get caught up. You can go to somebody's house and a package come in, and I will warn everyone, Never you sign for a package that is not yours. You may be coming for a visit and you are staying with a friend and a package come to the house. There is nobody in that house with that name. And you go sign for it. Then all of a sudden you see DEA agents, police, everybody are come. Who are you? I don't want the community to get involved where you are serving jail terms for BS. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And for you young girls, because I've met some of you, you say, no, no, take them charger for these guys. You see, as you lock down, you're gonna get locked down, mama. Let's get real. You see, as you lock down, I him and him next girl that. Does that make sense? And anybody who really check for you now gonna put you in them circumstances. I can't encourage you enough. Watch your friends you keep. This is a place where it is so easy to get involved with the wrong set of people. It is so easy to get caught up and to move left. This is not the place for it, because this place, this great country that we live in, America, is not a very forgiving place. And when you have a criminal record that prevents you from achieving your dreams and you get stuck, it's rough. All right, so good morning, Stacia, and good morning, Michelle. Please like the live and share the live. All right. So Flavia says, good morning again. As a citizen of the US, is there a limit to the amount of time that you can be out of the state? You probably mean out of the country, Flavia. As a citizen, you can be out of the country for as long as you want. And this is a privilege. I have clients. Antoinette, me tired. Me I go home. Me done work. Me I come off of the plantation. Me I collect my social security and also my pension. Okay. But apply for your citizenship first. I remember I had a girlfriend and she came here and she hated it. She absolutely hated it here. She had legal status. You see here? You say you don't have enough family support here. I don't care how much money you have. You see, when you don't have family support, this place rough. It is. And I gotta tell you, say, she hated this place. This place can be frustrating without family support. And I said, before you go home, go and get your citizenship. Don't leave here with the green card. You may not like it here today, but I'm a person, I don't believe in closing doors. You never know what opportunities sometimes now may not be your time. You don't know what the future holds. And I don't think anyone in life should close a door. That you can do with one crisis man or one Jezebel girl. We don't care because we not come back to you. But when you're here as a green card holder and you want to go outside the country, you want to go back home, because here can be a frustrating place if you don't have the proper support system. Yeah? If you're a green card holder, then I'm gonna encourage you, go and get your citizenship. So someone texted, good morning. My brother's son was being petitioned for by his ex-wife, but they got divorced before the papers came through. And his son went back to Jamaica. My brother is now petitioning for his son who is now 17 years old. All right. Will he have a problem coming back? His son was here on a visa that he overstayed before he went back to Jamaica. So this is the trick. Children are treated differently than adults. So you leave here. Anyone who is under 18 does not accrue unlawful presence. Yeah? So if that child leaves before their 18th birthday, because they do not accrue unlawful presence, they are not inadmissible. So the brother can file for him. That child is not subject to the 3 or the 10 year bar. So he should be fine when he goes to his embassy, the embassy. Smartest thing he did, if the brother is a green card holder and the child left before his 18th birthday, brother is filing for him, he is not going to be inadmissible because he left before his 18th birthday. All right. So good morning, Andre. Hi, Elizabeth. Good morning, Patrick. All right. So it is 10 o'clock. We are going to end the live. Thank you for joining us this Sunday. We are here every Sunday. Next Sunday, it's not going to be at 9. It's going to be in the afternoon. I think I'll try. Hopefully, I'll get back in time. My friend is getting married. I am going to a wedding, child. So, yeah, I'm going out of state. So, I am going to be doing this live next week in the afternoon, but I'll post it so you'll see the time. I'm shooting for 6. Not sure what time I'll be able to come back in, but I want to wish everybody a happy Sunday. And to make an appointment with the office, you can call 718-502-9137. Thank you so much for joining this Sunday morning, British Brown. All right, have a happy Sunday. Take care, stay blessed, be blessed, walk good and live good with your family and friends and the crosses gal up the road. Take care. Bye.